meaning to make a video like this for a little while, so if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I want to talk about the perceived quality that PlayStation fans are used to. Now, this is something that I've struggled with myself as a PlayStation fan. I've been a PlayStation guy for a very, very long time, and I keep coming back to this argument that the PlayStation fanboy community will always talk about. They'll always be like, "Yeah, this is not PlayStation quality," and I'm like, "What are you guys talking about, man? Like, have you been living under a rock or something?" Like, for the most part, we've always gotten what, like 1080p, and then like magically the PS4 Pro was able to give us, a checkerboard 4K 30 frames a second. So now all of a sudden that's quality. I don't get what you guys are saying, man. A game like Forspoken comes out that the PlayStation community did not even try to save this game, to play this game. They just looked at it, and the Digital Foundry guys did their job, said 720p. So what did the PlayStation fanboys say? That's not quality. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about, man? It was like the average story length just to play through that game is about 15 hours. That's pretty in line with the PlayStation quality. The voice acting was, it wasn't like the best we've ever seen, and Frey can definitely make some like comments that are just kind of weird and nerdy, and that's kind of her personality in the game. She's just kind of weird and nerdy, but she's also I don't understand it, man. For me, I felt the writing and the screenplay and all of that stuff was actually pretty decent. It wasn't bad, like by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. And then there's always this constant bickering between her and Cuff. And after you beat the game, like you kind of understand why. And once all of that comes around and you understand like the four Tantas and why they went mad and everything else, and you understand, like you'll understand, like it just kind of made sense to me. It was like, it clicked. I was like, oh, I see. This dude's trying to make me go insane. And by the end of the game, I came around to it. I was like, okay, I understand the story. That 100% makes sense to me. That's pretty cool. I didn't see that coming. That was pretty freaking cool. But then you've got these PlayStation fanboys, man, that are out there that want to watch these studios literally die because of these deals that PlayStation makes with them, man. Like, that sucks, dude. Xbox gamers might never get a chance to play this game on their Xbox. You can buy it on the Xbox store, and you can play it right now on your PC or whatever. But the fact of the matter still remains, man. Like, this might never come to Xbox, and PlayStation killed another game, man. Like, PlayStation killed another game. They rolled up the studio, rolled it back into Square Enix, and that really sucks, man, because Forspoken, it's not a bad game. It actually was a pretty... It actually kind of pushed the boundaries a little bit of what you can... of what I'm used to in an open world game, like a faster speed of traversal, being able to do more things, and like the combat is so deep in that game. Like, every time I play it, I find out new ways to engage in combat. Like, it's pretty freaking cool. Like, there's a lot of depth to this game, and I'm still running around. I've got about 20 hours on the main game, on my main save, a little over 20 something hours on my main save on the PlayStation 5. I beat it on the PC as well. And I've just been kind of playing, I'll jump from one to one and play, whatever. The PC version is definitely more behind now. I've got a lot more. I've got like all the powers and everything on PlayStation 5, and I'm actually working to platinum Forspoken, man. That's like one. I don't think I'll platinum. I mean, whatever. I mean, I keep saying I was gonna platinum like the AC games, but they're just too big. But I feel like there's something about Forspoken that, like, man, once it clicked for me during that demo, I've been in love with that game. I like the characters. I like the story. I didn't let the whole negativity drag me down. Even when you guys say your negative comments in the comment section, I don't let it drag me down because I like what's there. we can debate all day long if it's worth $70. We can debate all day long if it's worth $70. At this point right now, after version 1.10, it definitely enhanced the quality of this game tremendously on both PC and PlayStation 5. But when we can sit here and argue all day long that it's not worth $70, and for the most part, I don't really think any game is worth $70. I think that $70 thing is such a mental block for gamers these days, because you see the $70 and automatically a game goes from like seriously, if a game comes out at $60 like Wolong Fallen Dynasty, everybody's like, yeah, cool, not new. But if that game launched at $70, every single thing that was negative about that game will be talked about. Everybody would be like, oh my gosh, this is broken, everything. I'm gonna call it right now, man. I feel like Starfield launching at $70 is going to get pulled apart, man. They're going to look for every single reason that they can. And that's a tremendous pressure to put on these developers, man. Like it's going to happen. It's exclusive to Xbox and PC. They're coming for it, man. Whether you like it or not, they're coming for it. You can already see the hate mongering out there kind of bubbling up through the surface and stuff. And it's coming. And the PlayStation crowd out there is pretty loud. The media, you know, they've got that bias towards PlayStation, and that's fine, dude. I mean, PlayStation's been the market leader for a very long time. Xbox has always been like that that like up and coming kid, you know, for 4 generations now. And like, I love Xbox to death. I love what they're doing. I love how they're making Game Pass and games available to a lot more people out there that just can't afford to go out there and pay that $70. And that is a stark contrast to PlayStation holding firm on $70 and just watching these studios crumble. Just watching them crumble, man, because they're not making that. But I'm not defending Square Enix, because Square Enix has been saying that all of their studios have been underperforming for a very long time. So who knows? Who actually knows? I mean, maybe they have these like, this game's going to make $10 billion, and when it makes $999 million, they're like, no, it underperformed. I'm like, wait, so you never know. You never quite know when it comes to Square Enix what the true thing is. But watching something as serious as like a studio get folded into another one, and then other studios getting sold off to other publishers, that kind of makes you think that either they have some extremely high standards, and the only reason Luminous Productions survived not being sold off is because they're actually like Square employees in first place. But they're like, nah, you guys are coming back to Square. Get back under here. We're not straying any farther. And that just proves my point that I've been saying all along, that $70 AAA bangers are not going to save gaming. Game Pass is going to. Game Pass is going to save gaming for everybody. So when you sit here and talk about your quality, you're not used to something quality. I'll tell you what, man. I downloaded the Resident Evil 4 demo on PS5 and Xbox Series X. I noticed immediately that the PlayStation 5 version doesn't hit that quality threshold that everybody's talking about. I noticed immediately. I could see the checkerboard rendering in the background and the vegetation, and I was like, wow. Whoo, I didn't notice that on the Xbox. And you got to understand, I'm playing on a 1440p monitor. Xbox version looked sharp, crisp, looked beautiful, and that was the first one I played it on. I threw on the PlayStation version, and I was like, oh boy, I could notice immediately that there was checkerboard rendering in that game, guys. And I turned on the hairworks, and I turned on all that stuff, you know, and before I even jumped in there, and I noticed immediately things that I didn't notice on the Xbox version. And then if you want to get really technical, I played it on the PC as well, and the PC puts both of them to shame, because you get way more everything on the. I feel like let's put it this way: Resident Evil Village is made with 8K textures in mind. I really do believe that. You get in there and you can set the slider for the textures, and it goes from like 1 gig, 2, 3, all the way up to 8 gigs of memory just for your textures. And every step of the way, it looks way more incredible. And I was like, wow, this is insane. So I settled on about 3, you know, because I'm running 1440p, and it still blew both the consoles away at 1440p. Like it literally obliterated them in just the textures, you know, and the richness of the image and everything. And it looks crisp, it looks clean. And I was like, wow, man, that's insane. So all the time when we talk about this quality, man, you have to understand that there are real studios out there doing the best they can with the constraints they have of these consoles, man. You gotta let the 4K TV thing go, man. You gotta let it go. You have to let it go so that you can enjoy gaming. It's going to be a very frustrating generation if you don't. Like Microsoft is going to be just fine hitting their 4K 60. Most of their games are going to be racing games or first-person shooter games, or, you know, the ones that are generally a lot easier to make, higher resolution, and be able to give you that 60 FPS. PlayStation games are going to be a lot harder to do that, my friends. They're third-person shoulder or over-the-shoulder camera. I would say that we should be able to expect a pretty reasonable 1440p this generation, 1080p to 1440p. As soon as these systems, like these new engines and stuff are built, they're going to get better. Don't get wrong. Like they always get better, but I can't wait to see when that stuff actually starts to roll out, you know, like the Unreal Engine 5, things like that. But as it sits right now, come on, guys. Come on with the quality thing, man. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. Just play these games. Just buy the games. Support the devs. Play the games. If you don't want to buy the games, get an Xbox. Download them on Game Pass. But come on, man. We got to stop the hate machine for all these games out there. Forspoken is a pretty decent game, and it's gotten better with the last few patches. It has gotten better. It was pretty fun, man. Like, dude, I'm more interested in exploring Athia than sitting there listening to the dialogue stuff anyways. Like, anyways, it's an open world game. That's my thing. I love open world games, and it didn't disappoint me at all. Like, it didn't disappoint me. I got plenty of stuff to go explore, plenty of stuff to like figure out, plenty of secrets, plenty of hidden gems and stuff like that. Like, I like it. I have no problem with Forspoken. Whether the rest of the world out there hates Forspoken because my story or like the graphics or whatever, I'm playing on a 1440p monitor this generation, and now you see why. Because I get to enjoy games again. I'm having fun, guys. I'm actually enjoying games. I'm having fun. Stupid things like that aren't bothering me as much. They still do, but they don't as much. It's a lot easier for me to put things in perspective and put myself back in check. A lot easier now. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is just another one of my rant videos. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you made it all the way through the end. We'll see you guys in the next one.